Hello, my name is Jason Rotz, and today we're at my home here in Collier County in Southwest Florida. And I'm going to show you how I am putting together a 32 by 48 foot greenhouse by myself. So here we have the kit that I ordered from growersolution.com. It is a 32 by 48 foot hoop house. I went ahead and ordered the roll-up sides with my kit, as well as the 32 foot end walls. It comes as 18 bundles and 2 boxes. The boxes house all of your hardware, which includes your purling straps, your self-tapping tech screws, some 2-hole straps, some nuts, and some bolts. And I'm sure there's all kinds of other hardware in these other bags. Some of it's for the roll-up sides and the end wall kits. And then your plastic and everything is inside. So let me show you what the pieces include. As far as for the hoops, this first piece here is one of the center pieces. You can see it just has the straight end here, but it's beveled and reduced. They slip into each other. The smaller kits usually for building a hoop are 2 or 3 pieces. This is a 32 footer, so it takes 4 pieces. So that means 2 centers and 2 ends. So as you can see, it's beveled on one end and then it's straight on the other, so they can go right into each other. So let me show you 2 of the ends. You can tell the ends just from that sharp curve. It's designed to go ahead and slide down inside that stake, and it's beveled on one end. So one of these pieces comes with a beveled piece. It's reduced in size, I believe, just because, well, I'll show you here in a second. The other one is not. So you get this side set first, then you do the other one second. And with it being smaller, it makes it easier to slip down into that stake. But it widens out at the end, so it fits all together the same. And then you tap it in with those self-tapper screws. So it's 4 pieces. You get one of these, one of the other ones, and then 2 of the centers. And let me show you a completed hoop now. Okay, here is one of the completed hoops. As you can see, you got your standard non-beveled end, which goes ahead and slips into the first center. Got 2 of the self-tapper screws to hold it in place. Then that center slips into another center. Again, 2 self-tapping screws to hold it in place. And then that center slips into the 4th and final piece, which is that last end wall. And that last end wall has the beveled end. Okay, these are the stakes. They are 1 5/8" galvanized steel. It's the same stuff that they make chain link fence out of. And they are 5 foot long. My kit is a 3 foot end wall kit. So you drive 2 foot down, leave 3 foot up. Of course, you can adjust that however you want. It's totally up to you. You can make them 2 foot end walls, however. And what you do, in accordance with the instructions, is you set your 4 corners first. Once you get your 4 corners, If you measure between these two, you know, it'll be your 32 foot. Between that corner and the other one, you'll have your 48, and it's to the outer edge. And then what you're going to want to do to make sure that it's all square is you're going to measure diagonally from that corner to this corner, and same thing from that corner on the end over there to this corner here. And if they are the same measurement, you know your area that you have set is square. Once you get those four corners set, then it starts to speed up, because you can run strings, and this is just I forget, it's like a nylon string. You can get it at Home Depot or Lowe's. It's real thin. I got the bright green stuff. It comes in pink or yellow or orange, a couple other colors, and they make string levels that you can hang on the string so that you can level it all off. I would recommend getting a couple of packs of these, simply because sometimes they're not all perfectly level. What I'll typically do is hang one string first, hang all my little levels on it, and weed out which ones, if at all, might be bad. So the last thing you want to do is use one of these little strings and find out for some reason it wasn't manufactured right and it's a little kinked or a little off, and then you got to start all over because everything's out of whack. So you get those strings set, and what I did here is I set my string 2 foot from the top, which gives me a foot down. The dirt is fresh dirt yet. I'm still going to have to grade everything after I get the greenhouse up. So it looks like less because I got to scrape some dirt out of here. So 2 foot from the top. Now you can add an inch in there to give yourself a little buffer room. These are about 5 foot 2 inches. They're not all perfectly 5 foot, I found. And the reason if you want to add another inch is they give you a big old bolt and washer that you can use to drive it. I went to Home Depot and I got one of these. It's a post driver for a chain link fence. Works great. The only problem is if you find yourself having to drive through a harder surface. We get a lot of clay in our dirt down here, a lot of roots, there's rocks, there's all kinds of stuff. And after a while, you'll start to muck up the top of this thing here. So what I did is, using that extra inch that I had, I was able to go ahead and chop it off and then just tap it lightly using this thing. That last, 3/4 of an inch or whatever, how much I had to adjust it. But by cutting it off, it gives you your nice round hole again. Because if this thing is kinked, you're not going to get those hoops down in there. And then I took a file, and I used that to clean up the edges that I had cut. Helps with, so you don't cut yourself like I did there. Okay, so you can see there's 4 hoops up now. I just did this 4th hoop, and I'm going to show you how I did that 4th hoop next. And if you can see right there, there's a cinder block over there sitting by that stake, as well as over here. It's a big key to how I'm doing this. That and a 6-foot ladder. Got a 10-footer. But I didn't feel like pulling it out. I just grabbed a 6. It's enough to get the job done for now. At least until I have to start putting purlings. And once I get the purlings in there, I'm going to have to bust out that 10-foot ladder for sure. Because I don't know how high this ceiling is. I haven't measured it yet from where the floor is going to be. It's got to be about, I don't know, anywhere from 16 to 20 feet, I think. So it's a large greenhouse, but it'll give me lots of room for when I start building out this aquaponics system and expanding it, because I'm gonna make use of all the space that I have in here to grow all different sorts of things. It's gonna give me a lot of room to play with things and experiment with different varieties of stuff. see what grows best down here. So that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and show you how I got that hoop up, and hopefully this little trick might help somebody else who's trying to do the same thing. Okay, here we go. So it's just a regular cinder block. I got the other end sitting in over there. These blocks have just enough weight, just enough grab that they won't slide too much on the ground. I'll hold them ends in because as soon as you start getting this bow up, it wants to start wobbling and flexing. Now, I got it sitting up against these 2x4s and 4x4s already. The other ones, of course, I had them laying flat on the ground and just kind of lifted them up one at a time. So, got a little bit of a head start on this one. It's kind of a catch-22 though, because this does get in the way as far as pulling this thing in here and getting it set, but it is nice that I won't have to lift it up as much. Alright, now let me go ahead and set the camera, and you can watch me put this thing into post. Okay, let's go put the hoop up. Okay, and there you have it. That's how I get my hoops up. I'm going to go ahead and adjust it as needed at the stakes. The 6-inch marks to the top of the stake. Drill it in place, and it won't go anywhere now. So I hope this helps anybody that is trying to do something by themselves and on a big scale.